Hello, welcome back to Shakhtar's Glory, episode 74. I'm recording this straight on the back. It's taken a little bit of time, but the last game was obviously the Real Madrid final, 5-1. We had more red cards than goals. Yeah, go back and watch that one. I'm never going to watch it again, but feel free to go and check it out. Our first Champions League final in this series. Yeah, didn't go to plan, so there's already plans in foot. So I'm saying I'm recording this straight on the back. I've done a bit of scouting, squad analysis, sort of players we've got out on loan who might come back and step in and things like that. But that will be probably the first episode of next season, which will be the next episode. Today we have got the cup final, which is against Dynamo Kiev, and since then we have also played one league game against Dynamo Kiev. That was 4-0. Sadio Mohamed, a hat-trick there, is again the highlight. He gets one just after half-time, one about 10 minutes later, and one a few minutes before the end of the game. Yuri Alberto getting one sort of somewhere in the middle there as well. They were not really in this game. We weren't playing particularly well. Mohamed's goals just before half-time. We didn't score until just before half-time. Good few number of chances. A few kind of points out of this game is that Romero went off injured, and someone else picked up an injury. Vizeo picked up an injury as well, so they will miss the game today. We'll have a quick look at the league and see how it ended up finishing. Obviously, it ended up with us as champions. And what's the playoffs? Actually, we haven't looked at the playoffs. So PFK Sumi against Alexandria. I assume they're the division below. Yeah, they finished second in the division below. And Arsenal Kiev, who finished third in the season below, playing Donetsk. So, Olympic Donetsk getting, and Alexandria both in relegation. So I hadn't even noticed that. I mean, I probably had a while ago. But I thought Alexandria particularly would pull away from that. Donetsk, I think, are one of our affiliates. That may have been terminated. I may have terminated that. But Alexandria have been a team that's played in Europe the last couple of years. So very shocking to see them down there. But we finished, what's that, like 29 points clear in the end. We're now 60 odd games unbeaten in the league. It's absolutely ridiculous. So what's that? About 2 full seasons and a bit. So, but we have got the cup final today. We'll have a quick look at the goals and all that sort of good stuff. So Mohamed has actually snuck his way into being third top goal scorer. We haven't got anyone apart from him. We haven't got the top two. Junior Murray, who I think is actually training with Shakhtar in the summer at the moment. So they must have signed him this summer in real life. I'm sure I've seen on Twitter he's there at the moment. And then this Capellan, 24-year-old striker from Zerka. He's an ex-Shakhtar player, so he's something to think about. So we'll drop a quick scout report on him and we'll add him to a short list. In terms of average rating, Junior Murray, Garmash, Companucci, he's one of my loan players. I've just picked up his name. He looks fairly decent, had a good season. He may be someone that comes next year. There's a few players in that side who I'm eyeing for the outdoor. Some by choice, some are not. Assists is Gonzalez, Karavayev and Favarov. Players of the match, Barakia's up there, of ours. I don't recognise as being any of our players' names. Clean sheets, Roman Mysak, 29 years old. And yellow cards, I'm surprised. I think he's ours. Yeah, he is. The reason a lot of our players aren't here with the goals, the assists, all that sort of stuff, we rotate so many players. Something I want to do next season is try and have a bit more of a reduced first team squad if I can, but we'll have to see how that goes. But we are going to jump into the game. I haven't picked the players because obviously Romero is injured. We've had a few players on international duty recently, and I think that may still be the case. So we'll bring Paulinho in there. Vizeo is struggling, so we'll probably bring Rodrigo in there. He doesn't really like it. If we've got someone better, we may look at that. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll give Rodrigo a game. Got a few players struggling for fitness, but they have played the last game. That was the team. This is the team pretty much that played the last game, and this is pretty much the team that played the last game for them as well. No red cards and no suspensions to think about, and no, there was an injury for them actually, so that may have been. I think they had an injury as well as us having the 1 or 2 injuries as well. So that's really probably like to be the only changes affected, but I don't really recognise any of the names particularly to notice it. Matvienko here, plays it down the left. Mohamed, Matvienko, Mohamed has a shot, but he can't quite direct it on goal. But we've started brightly. And we have a free kick just in the edge of our area. Fred plays it out to Matvienko, very wide here. But he loses the ball, and they have a chance to counter, but Tello is just a phenomenal defender. He's an amazing human being, as Bridger Rogers would call him, no doubt. Ordets and Butko getting forward as well. He's probably going to be a casualty of the Cole in the summer. I would be very surprised if he's still here next year. Paulinho gets the goal, and that's after 2 minutes. Rocky 4 has finished now. I flicked it over. I'm watching South Park in the background. Obviously, I'm watching the game, doing this, but South Park's in the background. It's the Christopher Reeves one. It's absolutely shocking. Yeah. But as we're watching the highlight there, Paulinho getting his goal, we will skip that now. Oh, it's this one, the South Park. It's where Timmy and Jimmy become, I can't remember if it's Bloods or Crips, one of the two. Crips, because. But I'm talking about South Park because nothing's happening in this game at all, really. They've not had any shots. We're not getting any highlights from our chances. And we just hit the half-hour mark. Yeah, and Timmy and Jimmy have just walked into the City Walk. Or Shitty Walk, as the guy calls it. Isn't he really a white guy in disguise or something? Or a white woman in disguise or something? Was there an episode like that? Let me know in the comments. Used to love South Park, just kind of gone off the boil of it a little bit in recent years. Used to just stay tuned for every new series, but don't keep up with stuff like that anymore, unfortunately. Any programs I do watch, they're all just on record on my Skybox, and I get to them when I can. I've got so many sitting on there I've got to watch at the moment, just not got around to it. And that's how exciting this game is that we're talking about my Sky Plus. Yeah, Paulinho's taken a knock, so it's another striker's taken a knock. We are just going to take him off now. We're not going to risk him. Who have we got? We've got Yuri Alberto. Can come in. And Fred plays it to Matvienko. Clears it. Kovalenko here. Rodrigo, Paulinho. And he can't beat Olsen. And Butko has a throw. Finds Yuri Alberto. Matvienko can't quite get the touch. But Fred out to Butko again. He does get a lot of assists. And Mohamed, it wasn't going to be a game without Mohamed scoring lately, it seems. He is just on absolute fire. Great striker. I was thinking of selling him or loaning him next year. I think he's got to be around our first team. He's got to be. He's not playing the best opposition week in, week out in the league, but we haven't given him the chance in those big games. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for him to step up and have a chance. Because there's a few strikers that are going to be on the way out, I would imagine. Some for different reasons. Babacar probably for financial reasons, and he's wanted by a few big clubs actually. But I don't see him fitting into what we're trying to do long term now. I've mentioned it time and time again. He's one of my favourite players on the game from like FM11, and he's done a good job. He actually got striker of the Champions League, top striker of the Champions League this season. So he's obviously had a good season. It's drummed up some interest. If we can make a bit of money on him, then it's all good. I don't think he fits the way we're trying to play this season now. Next season now. As Rodrigo pops up to make it, was that 3-0? Has it ticked over? Yes, 3-0. Just going to come back to it as well. A news item that came up after the Champions League final, which angered me a little bit. The fans were angry at me for not subbing off Yuri Alberto for his dire performance. Now, by the time he was sent off, we'd had 2 other players sent off. Like, subbing him off and his poor performance was not anything particularly down to his fault, and the red card in the end obviously was, and that probably affected his rating even more. But I gave a little bit of a sarky comment and then stormed out. So yeah, it wasn't the best. We're going to bring Matasan in, and we're going to switch those 2 over because he's dying for some first team football. We are going to bring, in fact, we're going to bring Barco in for, who is it? Oh no, I thought it was an injury. We don't, do we? Who's struggling? Kovalenko. But I don't know if we can bring another foreign player on. No, we can't. We're going to bring Oya on for... We'll give Mohammed a break. And we'll just drop Oya back there. And we'll continue. As they nearly have a chance. We have got the young Gray in goal. That's their first shot on target. I mean, that's appalling. 78 minutes, the team that are second in the league. And that's going to be that. I think we're not going to get the corner. Nope, that is that. So 3-0 win. We don't see the trophy parade here. I don't know if it's because I'm not in 3D or because my computer can't handle some colour specs splashing and a little stand. I don't know. Let me know if you know the answer. There's a few things I've asked for the answer for in this episode. So yeah, hopefully my comments will be lit up on this one. Appreciate their efforts. Yeah, that's fine. And I think that pretty much wraps the season. I'll just have a quick look at news. We did get, I think it was 9 million for Champions League final appearance, and then another 3 million minus 2 for player bonus based on TV revenue for Champions League. So we made about 11 million, I think it was roughly. Yeah, drop a like on the video, drop a sub to the channel while you're there. Any comments, stuff I've mentioned during the video or just in general, all good. Message me on Twitter, all that good stuff. Yeah, until next time. Yeah, see you later. Take care.